Hi,
All right,
Rock. How
cool.
are you?
I'm good. How's it going with you?
It's good. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to introduce you guys to Rock. So Rock is a kick-ass entrepreneur. He's an online business owner. He's an email marketing and automation specialist. So what does that really mean? He basically wants to teach us right now how we can automate your business. A lot of you I know have businesses, or you have ideas for businesses, or maybe you're even working remote, but some of these automations specifically are going to help you so you can free up more time. Our whole thing here, Rock is a dad. He has a very flexible lifestyle because he set up his business in a way so that he can enjoy life more. So Rock, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit more about your business and how you've like created this location independent lifestyle, like flexibility wise.
What's going on? So my name is Rod, as Chana said. I'm an email marketing and automation expert. So in layman's terms, I help people make more money, do less work. And so a lot of that comes with relationship building with your client base, as well as tightening up your operational processes so that you have a clear vision and you're able to automate a lot of those steps in between that sometimes gets lost. And what kind of started my journey before all this, I was an operation manager for a pharma company. Had 2 years in the game, automated a lot of that stuff. But once they relocated, I was not willing to to move my entire family. So I had to figure out what was I going to do. I was overqualified for a lot of managerial jobs. So I actually took a gig scrubbing toilets. And so, but that allowed me to focus and kind of understand who I was and develop my own business. So at first, it was mainly content, small copywriting gigs. But then once I understood the nuances of how to bring automation to an online business, that expanded from what it was from there. So that's the beautiful part of journey that I don't share that often, but I think it's important because sometimes you got to go through that mud. And I went through the mud, and now, like I said, I'm able to end up independent lifestyle. Anytime, like my kids are in daycare, if somebody gets sick, they throw up, something goes wrong, I don't have to say, oh, I got to call a boss. I can just, all right, boom, shut it down and go take care of business.
Love it. That is so cool. Thank you so much for sharing. We're all of our entrepreneurs in here. Please put me in the chat. Let us know also in the chat, like, what is your business? Maybe you have an idea for a business. What is that idea? We're gonna touch on a lot of different things here. And it can help spark even maybe some inspiration for some people that want to do something that just haven't. Right. So what's kind of like your first thing that you help? Because I know you have clients too that you help set up their business, their operations for these people that want to move abroad and they don't want to work as hard, like what you just said. Like, right. what would you do first to make sure that they're setting things up the right way in their business?
Okay, so first off, we got to have a broad look at all of your processes. Do you understand your client acquisition process? Once you move forward, do you understand your sales process? And then how are you keeping track of your leads, your sales, and are you generating enough conversations to continue that everlasting circle to get things going? And so once we identify those pieces, we kind of we shift into the implementation stage. So that means giving suggestions on where content can get better eyes on the business. Comes from creating that landing page. So when people come to your website, you're collecting customer information, name, email, phone number. Then we're creating your email sequences so that you're pretty much generating conversations and trust automatically to get people from just interested customer to a full-blown lead to now a revolving customer of yours. So there's steps within that process that we facilitate and we build. So again, you can remove that headache of trying to figure it all out yourself.
I totally get that. Cause like the typical, some in our world with small businesses, medium-sized businesses, there is a lot of manual stuff that we're doing. And that's super old school. So you're basically saying people can set something up so that it can even sound very custom, but you're not having to send 100 individual emails to these new leads, that you can just have it all working for you, right?
Exactly. And I give an example. Right now I have a customer. She's a health coach. She has about 500,000 followers on Instagram, but her sales process was When somebody opted in for her free recipe guide, her VA and she was manually sending emails to every single person. So she has 50 to 100 people signing up, and you have to now hire a VA, pay them to go ahead and send emails. You're working backwards. So
Right.
what we simply did was reconstructed it, literally set up, on our software where she can create a page, they leave their name, email, phone number, they get that, and they pretty much get the email with the freebie and the recipe guide. And so now she can just focus on doing other things, and her virtual assistant can do other things as well versus just handling emails all day.
Right. I totally get that. That's really interesting. And we have somebody that just dropped in the chat, Kristen Happ. She's a healthcare hacker, and she has like an online solutions focused community to help people strategize their health insurance and access to the care they need and deserve. Like, what would you say? And it's a pretty sizable Facebook group. I've been in there actually.
Right.
What is like your tip for her? I guess like this is a perfect scenario, like someone who doesn't have that kind of stuff set up. Don't you first need like a landing page? You first need a website, or do you first need like a freebie or something that people can download so you can capture their information? What would be the process that you would set up for somebody who hasn't done this before?
So first up, we would kind of see what we can give away that's of massive value for free. And I'm not talking about like a quick little ebook, something that's so like the customer, excuse my language, would feel dumb if they didn't download it.
Yeah.
Because it's so valuable. We will first develop that first. Then the next step, we would focus our marketing and our attention and our call to actions, meaning giving your customer the direction to do something. That would be, download my free guide, watch my free training, watch my video. And then from there, you can watch the videos, watch the subscribers just flood in. And what happens, if you let that be the focal point of your marketing and of your content, even making content about your freebie to send to your group, you're going to get leads every single day.
Right. Interesting. Okay. So the first step is they have to put their thinking cap on and think about like, what is this really valuable item that I want to give away, pretty much.
Right. And a lot of people feel like they don't have that, but I had a conversation with someone the other day. They do residential and commercial cleaning. And they said, the first thing they told me, well, I don't have a freebie. I can't really do a freebie for my industry. I said, yes, you do. You can literally create a quick guide of 10 things to look for when hiring a residential or commercial cleaner. So there's always something you can craft. You may just haven't had the creativity to dial it down and put it on paper, put it on video, but you can always give something away for free for value.
Right. So how do people is the goal of doing that? It's obviously to generate leads, right? So it's obviously right, to get them into your sales funnel. What if people already have they have hot leads, they have clients, they have, what would you suggest for them?
So if they already have clients, then you should be continuously trying to increase the lifetime customer value. Meaning, if they pay you $50 now, you want them to pay you $100, $200, $300 long term. And so you do that by continuing to create content that's specific for them. And so what's an example? Let's say you have a list of customers or clients and they're from Texas. We had that big Texas hurricane a while back. It's a small nuance. You can literally send a text or an email, wishing everybody safe travels, hoping that everybody's okay. Why? Because now you're standing out from the normal competition that won't do those small nuances. And I guarantee you, if you do things like that, you will get sales and you will get people coming back for your services or your products.
Interesting. So you're kind of like in your automations, these messages that are sent out to everybody, you're adding like a personal touch to it. And interesting.
Yeah, most definitely. Because everybody gets mass DMs, mass emails every day. I get cold emails to this day, and normally they have the wrong person's name in there. But when you're collecting data and you're like, okay, you get their customer name, you get their first name, maybe where they're from, maybe you ask what's their favorite color. You can create segments based on their interests, and segments is pretty much breaking up your big list into smaller lists. So let's say, because I also, even though I'm do email marketing automation, my smaller business, we offer funding. And so if I have customers that are interested in that, then they can move into that particular bucket. And so same thing, if I do email marketing, someone doesn't care much about automation, but they want email marketing, okay, then we shift them in this bucket and we deliver that particular content. And so by creating smaller segments, you're going to be more intentional and get more results per action.
Interesting. So how much time is saved if for not, you keep saying VA, if, for those that don't know what that is, that's like a virtual assistant. How much time can people actually save to go do the things they love by not paying? Like what's the opportunity cost? How much are they gonna save by?
You're gonna easily, like yearly, you're gonna easily save anywhere between $30,000 to $60,000 because you're not doing the minor tasks that's eating up your time. You don't have to mentally go in your brain and say, man, I gotta reach back out to John, to Harry. I know I'm supposed to. If you had those automations set up in a roadmap type fashion, then that's something that's off your plate. So not only are you being more productive within your business, you're removing a lot of that anxiety from things you know you're supposed to be doing, but because your schedule is so stacked, you can't. Now you're beating yourself up.
Right. Now, can anybody put in the chat who has a business and is doing, like, has this automation kind of stuff set up to free up time? Can you guys put me if you have it set up? If you don't have it set up, put I don't. I'm just wondering how people can, how can they start doing this? Because, you know, I've set up automations too, with my clients, because I do web design, and obviously to get all this information to all you lovely people, I had some automation set up. But for those that don't really know how to do it, like, what should they do to start? Like, should they start watching YouTube videos? Should they use a certain platform that teaches them?
Right. Well, a lot of times you can really YouTube University it, but that's only going to get you but so far. And I'm just going to be honest. You can always tap in with me because we also offer a coaching program as well as done for you services. But the first thing you need to do before you start automating is you kind of have to reverse engineer it. You got to understand what your end goal is and then work backwards. If your end goal is the sale, then you have to understand what is the processes for getting to that sale. What's that last point of contact before the person breaks out the credit card? Okay, cool. And then after that, what's the reason why they would opt in the first place? So once you reverse engineer that entire process, you're going to be able to create something that's lasting. So when it comes to software, there's plenty of software. When you're talking about email marketing, there are platforms like GetResponse, platforms like ActiveCampaign.
Right.
If you want to use text message marketing, you do text message automations. You can use things like Simply Text, use SMS Plus. There's tons of different tools you can use. You want to build sales funnels. You got ClickFunnels. You have Kartra. There's tons of different software. My biggest recommendation is to use leadbreeze.app because it has all of that software in one place. So that now you can just focus on building the automation and grow from there.
Yeah, and I've heard of LeadBreeze because it has everything. It has the landing pages, and when we say landing pages, for all of you guys who don't maybe have businesses, it's kind of like a page so that people can come to it, and it funnels them into something. So they put in their name, their email, and then it sends them, you know, it starts the automation to happen. And so he's recommending LeadBreeze, which I've used it before, and it's really good. And it also houses all of your contacts. You can take notes, you can send people personal messages if you need to, and you can also do, I'm trying to think, you have the SMS marketing with that one too, right?
SMS call. You can do phone calls if you decide to run ads in the future. It does all your ad tracking for you. You can schedule your social media posts. So if you want something simple without using 16 different pieces of tech, then that's going to be your best option available, to be honest.
So what did you, like, the way you were running your business before to now, like, what does that look like?
So before, what I was doing for clients, I was using different softwares to help build out their automation. So let's say they wanted a sales funnel. I would go tell them to get a ClickFunnels subscription, get a GetResponse subscription, get a Simply Text subscription, get this software to track this bit. It was a bunch of stuff.
So many subscriptions. I feel the pain.
Yeah. And people were, they liked the service, but they weren't getting the success they were getting, they could have, because they weren't as tech savvy and they didn't want to divide their focus to 4 or 5 different places. But now that we use Libreeze, we pretty much have everyone in under one roof. If there's an update, I can literally, they just push to their account. So now they can grow and they can really focus on high income activities.
Love that. I love that. And now this location independent lifestyle, like if somebody has an idea for a business, like how would you recommend starting that? Because I know you do like you're a business coach too.
Right.
I have other ideas for businesses. Like my dream is to have a retreat center in Spain where I
Most
host,
definitely.
I'm gonna have like Airbnb bungalows and then host different retreats. Like I love yoga and meditation. So I would invite people to come and stay and we'd have like a full blown like 3-4 days. But somebody like, how would you recommend that we start? We have this idea. What do we do next?
So once you have your idea, definitely understand what the market is doing. What is the competition doing? Is there any competition, or are you the unicorn? If you are the unicorn per se, and you are one of the kind that's still amazing, now you have to identify what types of people do you want to be your ideal customer. You have to build something called a buyer's persona. That's pretty much your ideal customer, their traits, their hobbies, their emotional characteristics, sometimes their physical characteristics, things of that nature. So you can get in their mind, so that when it's time to, build that website, have those conversations, you can easily talk about it. And for your elevator pitch, it comes off easy versus forced, because now you kind of understand those small subtle nuances, that why they should be a part of your brand and why they should come visit your resort and things of that nature. So that's kind of the first step, is the planning.
Right. Okay. And then how do these people, like, where does this work? So are you getting leads from Instagram? Are you getting, and you can give us an example from your business, but like, where then do you recommend that they go find these people?
Gotcha. So there's tons of places you can get people. You can look online. Somebody will tell you, run paid ads, do social media marketing, do blogging. All of it really is the same. If you're not going the paid route, which if you're a new business, I don't recommend you dumping money on ads, because you don't understand how to create organic content to get natural views. So when you try to create a similar creative and put money behind it, you're going to wonder why you're flushing money down the drain. So first, focus on an organic strategy, pick one and roll with it. So that's posting content on social media with the call to action saying, hey, come to my, visit my link in bio, XYZ, or you're on LinkedIn doing cold outreach, whatever that may be. You just have to be consistent in what you're doing. A lot of times you'll do something for a short amount of time, and if it's not working for, let's say, a week, you go on YouTube, you see a video that it's like, okay, well, this new amazing thing can work. Now you got shiny object syndrome, and now you're not getting results anyway because you're trying this brand new process. So definitely focus on finding a lane and just sticking with it and being consistent, and you will get results.
Interesting. And I have somebody in the chat, Kristen, just asked a question, which I'll bring her up in a second. But any of you guys have what are you kind of stuck with right now when it comes to your idea? What's kind of like holding you back? I'm curious. And then what is that idea for a new business? Or maybe you have one and it's not getting to the place that you really want it to get to. Tell us, what is your business? What do you do? Feel free to drop it in the chat. We're going to open up the Q&A in 2 minutes. So I have a freebie from Rock. It's basically a free gift. This is your automation training, right? What is it?
Yes.
What are we going to learn here?
So pretty much you're going to understand how exactly I made 35K in 3 months without appointment setters, without ads, strictly using automation and organic marketing. Cool. And so you're definitely going to want to take part of that training, because it's going to kind of show you the highlights. And so you'll be able to kind of understand where you're at now and then where you need to go.
Okay. And that's so interesting. Are you going to tap into can you just share with us, how has your strategy been? I know you you do a lot of reels on Instagram, so you're not afraid to come in front of the camera. What do you recommend for people that don't really want to show up on, on social media? What are like the other options?
To be honest, you got to get over it. And I'm not saying that to be, be mean or be insensitive. but it's time of things where that's where things are going. Just I remember 2 years ago, those Instagram carousels with the 10 slides, those were getting people the most reach, right? But the video now, it's transcendent. There's a reason why YouTube has shorts, why Pinterest has idea pins. Everything's shifting to short form video. So
Right.
I recommend, if you have problem, I don't want to show up on camera. I don't like being on camera. A lot of it's due to two things: confidence and just not liking probably how you sound or how you look on camera. And what I would kind of recommend to kind of get over that fear, if that is an issue, just record yourself for 15 seconds multiple times throughout the day and just force yourself to look at it, but don't post it. Just get in the habit of being in front of the camera, articulating yourself and feeling comfortable. That way you're just off to the races. My story, I hated being on camera. I did not want to show up. My original business, I hid behind the logo for a long time. For a long time, I hid behind the logo. But once I forced myself to get out of my comfort zone, my business made a drastic change. I did my first live with somebody. First time I came to my first live with somebody, nervous, palm sweating, stumbling over my words, but I got it together. And then it worked. I got a lot of business from it. And once I noticed when I show up that there's a difference within my business, then it's like, okay, let's do that. So if anyone's having that same conflict, I guarantee you, do not hide behind a logo. Make yourself available, because again, people don't buy what you offer, they're buying from you.
Right.
And so
You
once
are
they're able
unique
to connect
value.
with you, exactly,
Like your
like
unique value and how they can connect with you. I mean, if it just shows, because we're here even in this summit, we're being real, we're being ourselves, we're coming from a place of care and love. We want to help people. So when you come from that place, people are going to buy into your services, which is pretty cool.